How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Shawn and Matt Show. My name is Matt, that is Shawn, and welcome to our show. Shawn, in today's episode, we are going to be talking about Redfin vs. Compass, a couple that is living in an abandoned subdivision. It kind of looks like straight out of a movie. And we're going to have a little recap of an NFT that has recently sold for $900,000. This is a virtual plot of land. You can't touch it unless you have a computer mouse and you're on the interwebs.
Crazy stuff.
Looking forward to that. Let's start with an article that came out. This comes to us from The Motley Fool. By the way, you know their headquarters is in Alexandria.
I did know that. Yeah.
Yeah. Every now and then, The Motley Fool will have pre-roll YouTube ads of like, here are stocks to invest in, and in the background, I'm like, I know those buildings.
Yeah, it's right there.
I'll watch this ad.
Yeah.
So their article is entitled Redfin vs. Compass, which is the better real estate technology stock?
Yeah. I mean, what do you like? Which one?
Well, we've talked about Compass and their recent IPO. Compass IPO'd at $20 on the 1st of April, so literally 3 months ago to the day. It has since dropped in value by 35%. It started at $20 a share. It's down to $13. Now, I don't think this is necessarily indicative of the company as a whole, of the stock as a whole. It may be indicative that the price was just too high to start with. Right. But I think that the market is trying to decide, okay, is this company a disruptor? Because what the Motley Fool has to say, and to summarize this article basically in 2 sentences, they say Redfin, a true disruptor of the status quo, and Compass, a tech platform for the more traditional real estate brokerage model. How do you feel about those 2 statements for those 2 companies?
I think that's exactly right. I mean, Redfin has always been the disruptor. And what I was surprised to find out when I read this article was that Redfin is only 1% of the actual market. Did you know that?
I would have guessed a lot higher.
I would too. And I think it's because we see it here so much. It's one of our big competitors here. But it's going, it's going to survive in these kind of markets. The markets that tend to sell quickly, that are higher priced, that's where they're going to do well. It's harder to do business on lower priced homes when you have that kind of model, in my opinion, right?
Yeah. Why is Compass expanding so much? We always hear about Compass expanding, which is good. I guess that's a good thing, but we don't hear much about Redfin expanding. And oftentimes, I'll make a YouTube video about Redfin, and then someone will comment down below, when are they coming to my market? What's your market? Iowa.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know when they're coming to Iowa or
I don't think they can, because they've got to pay salaries, and you've got to make the money that makes sense, and so they
have the minimum threshold of like, right, hey, we're only it's a discounted rate. Oh, but if you're below this price point, then it's actually a flat fee, which is then higher than your discounted rate. So they're kind of pigeonholed into only working in higher end markets, but just markets that have higher sales prices.
And it's a good business model in that regard, because they're not going after the lower sales. They're going after the high sales where they can afford to pay their people salaries and keep the business going. So I was surprised to see that it was only 1%. I was really surprised to see that. But Compass, on the other hand, has been gobbling up agents. And so what has happened is they're paying premiums to get these big agents from other companies, which is smart. But at some point, how much can you pay for these, and when does it start turning a profit? And right now we're in such a good real estate market, and I think sales are up, everything is up, but their profits are not up.
No.
Their losses are down year over year. I think it was like a $69 million loss to now a $65 million loss, which is coming down. So when is that going to equalize and then start seeing profits? And that's then pushing the stock prices down. So when is the good time to buy? You and I talked about, hey, would you buy Compass stock? And I said, sure, I'd buy it, at the right price. Might be getting to that price pretty soon.
So it started at 20, and I told Shawn, maybe I said it in the video, maybe not, but like when it got to 15 or something, I'm just throwing out a number, I would buy it. And full disclosure, I own Compass stock. I don't own Redfin stock, so maybe that tells you what I think about those two companies, but it's not a lot. I only own a couple $100, but I'm going to put you on the spot again. At what price per share does it make sense to buy Compass stock?
You know, I'm not an analyst, so I don't know how to dig into these numbers to make sure that it's good. But what Motley Fool said is it's not in their top 10. So,
but they do
but
that.
They
to
do
get
that all
your
the time.
email
Yeah,
address
exactly.
and get you to sign up.
Some of those ads drive me nuts.
Look, I
man.
love
Like,
this
oh, this
guy
is the
'cause
coolest thing ever.
He's avoiding the question. I love it.
I think right now, honestly, it's a pretty good buy.
Yeah.
I'm enticed a little bit, right? $13 sounds good, but where's Realogy right now? How much is
I'll
is
look
Realogy
it up.
stock?
But
as we
while
go?
I look it up, and I'm thinking about this on the fly. I think maybe if the market goes down, that'll be better for the Compass stock, because you got to imagine if it's harder to sell a property, what are sellers going to do? Are they going to try to save money and go the discount route? Or are they going to see the value in Compass's marketing and be like, I really need this market?
Yeah, that's what I always say. In the slimmer markets where properties take a lot longer, the commissions start coming back all of a sudden. You know, Redfin is one of those models where they're a discount brokerage, and you know there are competition, and so they naturally kind of pull those commissions down in a lot of regards. Not in I mean, if you show expertise in an area, you can show that you're more valuable in some assets. But I mean, I think in the better or worse markets, you're right. I think properties will sell slower, but probably getting more profit per house.
A few quick stats. You said Realogy stock is at 18.98, basically $19. It was down to $2-3, you know, when the market was down in 2020. A few quick numbers. Market cap for Realogy, $2.2 billion. Market cap for Compass, $5 billion. Market cap for Redfin, $6.6 billion. Now, you know.
So if you look at the market cap and then you say, well, Realogy is actually a larger company than Compass. Why is its market cap so much larger than Realogy?
So,
right.
Yeah. I mean, that may give you a hint as to
where the stock should be.
Yeah. A few more things about Compass. They reported an 80% year-over-year increase in revenue to $1.1 billion. They are burning substantial amounts of cash. Negative free cash flow was negative $57 million in the early period of Q1, and commissions and related expenses were nearly 85% of revenue of Q1. So that there you go about paying out a lot of commissions as expenses. So definitely interesting to see what'll happen with Compass stock, and a good comp, if you will, for Redfin. Okay, let's move on to the second topic, which comes to us from Fox News and a few other sources, entitled "Married Couple Stuck Living in an Abandoned Real Estate Development." The building company for the housing development in England went under before completing construction. Shawn, this looks like a dystopia. This looks like a I Am Legend, where Will Smith is just walking through an abandoned New York City.
Could you imagine?
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine buying a property and then all of a sudden you're the only people living in the entire development? That's insanity, man.
A couple from London purchased and moved into a home of what was supposed to be a new housing community over 3 years ago. Unfortunately, the building company went under. They went bankrupt, leaving most of the houses unfinished, turning the area into a ghost town. That's so eerie. I'd be creeped out.
That's totally creepy.
And it sounds like the abandoned houses are spots for people that are doing nefarious activities, and they've had to gate it off. It looks like people have taken pipes. People have tried to move in, do drugs, yada yada yada. But it looks like another development company is purchasing the project to hopefully finish the construction on it.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing about new construction and why a lot of builders will not build until they have a contract on the property, right? They start building, or like a condo building. they'll start sales before they actually start breaking ground, right? And they have that office, so they need to get so many sales and so many promises that, hey, we're going to buy in here. And that's the same thing with like townhouse or single family developments. I have a townhouse development under contract right now, and I have a single family under a new construction under contract right now. And they're not building. They didn't start building until they had a strong contract. They had your earnest money deposit. They had your upgrade money. Then they start building. That's a smart builder. If you're building just to build and then you're going to sell it later, you're putting yourself at a huge risk, which I'm assuming that this company did, or else they just went through a downside. And, we've all seen downsides in the market, right? There were buildings in DC, I can name a few, and I can name a few in Arlington that went through this same thing where they thought they were going to sell all the condo buildings, all the condo units, and all of a sudden the market tanked. And my wife at the time was selling one of these buildings, and they were about 55% sold, and then the market tanked. And they basically gave all the deposits back. They had to sell the building. The place went under, the company went bankrupt and sold the building to another investor, and it took a long time. So think about all of the work that those agents do to sell those properties. When you're working for a new homes construction company, and you get paid at settlement, but for those types of projects, they give you a feed. Basically, they're feeding you per month, and then once everything goes to settlement, you pay that feedback through your commissions that you're earning. So I've seen that firsthand, what happens on that, and how that's a really tough thing. And then the Jewel, if you remember the Jewel, which is now
ARC
3409, went through the same thing. And the condo sales didn't go good. The thing tanked. It was then sold to one investor. They turned it into a extended stay place, and then another investor bought it, turned it back into condos in a good market, or not even a great market. That was a couple of years ago. But could you imagine these people buying this place? They leave for a little while. They go to the United States, right? They come back to the United States. They're chilling for a little bit. They go back to their townhouse, only to find that construction has stopped. Their roof was actually stripped.
Yep.
Their furniture was thrown out onto people's. It was crazy, right?
The couple found that their furniture was tossed onto a neighbor's roof. That's like The Hangover, tossing the bed onto the top of the roof.
Imagine
you're buying your dream home, and then it goes under. This is a nightmare.
Complete nightmare. And then what happens, right? The good thing, I think, now is this company is going to buy the entire project, and they're going to, hopefully they're a good, solid company that has the money to do this and turn this thing around, because I think probably worldwide, the real estate market is really strong. So if they can turn these things around and, get some good values for those people will be all right.
It could be a good opportunity for a buyer, in London who's trying to get a new construction house, maybe at a discount, when this new developer finally releases it. But
insane, man.
Crazy times, history repeating itself. All right, let's talk about our third topic, which is a follow-up on NFT real estate. Shawn, this comes to us from Reuters.com. Virtual real estate plot sells for close to $1 million. A patch of virtual land in the blockchain-based online world, Decentraland, sold for more than $900,000 on Thursday, July 1st, a record purchase for the platform. Shawn, I've invested in NFT. I'm not going to say how much. It's not a lot.
Yeah.
I have no reason to complain, but they're buying all this stuff in a different metaverse than the one that I'm in. So your concern was like, okay, well, what if you put your chips in this basket and everyone decides that they want to be on this other platform? It's exactly what's happening to me in my lowly investment.
Yeah, so your what was it called? Virtual World or something?
SuperWorld. Get it right.
SuperWorld.
Why would you not want to invest in something called SuperWorld?
I mean, I think it's amazing, right? SuperWorld. Yeah, that's exactly it. They could spawn off so many different platforms, just like, any website out there could start their own NFT platform. And this one is selling it in their own currency, which is called Mana, right?
Mm-hmm. So this one looks like it has a little bit more going on. The other one, it was kind of just like plots. This one is a user-owned Ethereum-based virtual world where you can play explore, interact with games and activities, you can also purchase parcels of land on which to build your own environments, marketplaces, and applications. So, Shawn, not only can you buy stuff in this metaverse, but then you can go ahead and sell it. So I have not explored Decentraland. I might have to, but I got to imagine, this person or this company that we'll talk about purchased this prime real estate and is now going to try to sell something on top of it.
It's crazy, crazy stuff. They bought about a 16-acre parcel. That's what it equals in the virtual land. 16 acres for it was slightly over nine. It was like $931,000.
913.
913. Okay. The crazy thing about this is that the purchaser is actually a virtual real estate investment company, right? Like, so we talk about real estate investment companies that are buying up all of our real estate. They're a big competitor now. Are you going to sell to an individual, a family, or whatever it is, or are you going to sell to a company? Now, it's going full circle to the virtual world where the investment companies are investing in virtual real estate and buying up that side. It's crazy.
So the company is called Republic Realm. They are a professionally managed, diversified digital real estate investment vehicle for virtual crypto and blockchain metaverse NFT tokens. Couple articles just came out, one entitled Republic Realm is building a virtual shopping district in Decentraland. Now, what's the cost of a mall, versus buying something for $900,000 online? It's probably a lot less. Exclusive crypto billionaire Novogratz leads funding for virtual real estate firm. There's a lot of money.
It's going.
There's a
man.
lot of money in this.
There's a ton of money. These people have so much money, they don't care. They're going to start something and people are going to follow. And I'm sorry, buddy. SuperWorld is gone. You got to go to Decentraland.
Should I sell my plot of land in Georgetown? I don't think anyone's going to buy it.
Hold, buddy.
I spent like $200 on it.
You bought it. You bought a good plot. Just hold on to it, because SuperWorld. SuperWorld. I started Superland, so there's Superland, SuperWorld. Your money's you just hold, buddy. It's gonna go. It'll go to $230 in about 30 years. So.
I want to have just like $10,000 in these stupid crypto environments.
Why not?
Just put it out there, because this could be blockchain, or this could be Bitcoin in 2013, but it also just could be lighting your money on fire.
It could be, but you know what? You've got it there. I've lit my money on fire before, and I've lost, and it's fun to think about what could happen, and if I would have kept my money where after I sold it, if I would have kept it there, it would have been worth so much money. But you live and learn, and that's the ups and downs of investing. It's fun. It's gambling.
Yeah, I want to put like 90% of it in like ETFs and index funds, but
what is that little?
That is the downturn of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's down big. It topped out at about 60,000 back in April. And it's now down to 33.
I bought it at 9,000
But the thing is,
years ago.
April, 3 months ago. But that's so short term, because people are convinced. It's the Bitcoin bros are convinced that it's going to hit 100,000. It's going to hit 1 million. So, if you're a believer in this, you're buying all the Bitcoin you can handle right now.
That's true. It's down 20, 30, almost. What is it? $20,000 to $30,000.
$33,000.
That's crazy. Yeah, I got some money in Coinbase or whatever it is, so I'll probably just buy it. I think it's time.
All right, guys. Well, drop a comment down below if you are either planning on buying an NFT or have already dabbled in the NFT world, and definitely give us some advice, because if we're gonna burn money and just light money on fire, we might as well listen to a YouTube commenter and just listen to that advice to burn it. So there you have it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed it. And until next time, we'll see you then.
Take care.